What is a swamp monster's favorite dice-based word game? Bog Ghoul. Welcome to the stream, my friends. Happy Tuesday to you. An alien engineer. When in doubt, that's always the in case of emergency break glass punchline. I hope you're well, my friends. Thank you for joining me. My microphone is in a strange position. Maybe this will be a little better. Final Fantasy first in chat tonight, followed by Dead Zergling, Stream Kyle, and Lucent Jelly. Welcome in all. Welcome in all. Stream Kyle, thank you for the 10 stream streak. Very much appreciate you joining us so regularly. I'm glad you changed it to Swamp Monster instead of just Swamp, but you enjoy the ones where inanimate objects express their preferences. So this is Jump King, my friends. If you haven't been here, this is an ongoing journey. I have been living with Jump King for a very long time. Things have gone pretty well in the not too distant past with this game. We have beaten the main game, and we have beaten the first DLC twice, actually. And now we are playing DLC number 2, Jump King Ghost of the Babe, and it is pretty brutal. I'm not making a lot of progress. I'm a little rusty, I feel, having not played it in several nights. But I'm trying my best to keep hope alive as we struggle with this one. I knew going in it was going to be unreasonably difficult, and I'm trying not to let the game get my spirits too down. Speaking of unreasonably difficult, we're also going to play a little bit of Jet Force Gemini later tonight. That game has been a real disaster. But much like this one, we're going to stick with it. Hopefully see it all the way through to the end. I'm still trying to do it blind, but I'm threatening to break out the strategy guide, which, by the way, does exist. I have not cracked the spine on it personally, but I do very much own a Jet Force Gemini strategy guide. So if I have to, we may break our rule. We may break our rule and look something up for a change. But I'm trying not to. I'm really trying to make progress without having to resort to that. Hey, Loyal, welcome in. Loyal's also on a 10 stream streak. Thank you very much, Loyal. Really appreciate the consistent company. May not be talking, but I'm always lurking. Thank you for that, Loyal. Lurkers, welcome. I would never want to begrudge anyone for just choosing to hang out in lurk mode. That is perfectly welcome. And very much appreciated. I was digging Jet Force Gemini last night. Jet Force Gemini is so torturous. Well, I've got a lot of big problems with Jet Force Gemini. I don't know what my biggest problem is. My biggest problem is I don't know where to go. It's not that I don't know anything to do. I definitely have objectives to accomplish that I know what they are and where they are, but everything that falls in that category is something I very much just don't want to do. But the whatever is required of me whatever is required of me in order to make game progress, though, I just have not been able to figure out what it is. I did find a lot of new stuff last night, though. It was not a night without... It was not a night completely without value. I found several small items that I had missed on my first pass through areas. I found a major minigame, which actually didn't lead to progress like I thought it might. Oh my goodness, back to the bog. Let's go. That's... What do we do on this stream that isn't torture? Touche, Loyal. Touche. Oh, that didn't work like I thought it did. I thought there was potential for that jump to turn out to be free. Which, that would have been a discovery of infinite value. A stretch break. Alright, we'll do that in just a moment. We'll do that either when I escape the bog or when I fall down all the way down to the bottom. Whichever happens first. All the way down to the bottom it is. Alright. jelly coming my way. One moment. Thank you for the coffee jelly. I have decaf coffee tonight, which is much less exciting. Decaf can still have a little kick to it. It just, maybe it's, you know, maybe it's because I buy cheap, terrible coffee, but my, the decaf coffee that I get is just does not have as exciting of a flavor. But it's a warm drink. It's you know, any kind of warm drink has comforting properties. Awful. You know, hopefully after a half an hour or so of this, like, my muscle memory will kick in and we'll start to play a little better. But I don't know. Our last session of Jump King, I played pretty poorly. I played pretty poorly that night, so current performance records are rather lackluster. I do think I did tie my PB last time though, so well, I didn't play my best. We did, for one brief shining moment, have a potential to make progress. Nope, that's wrong. Okay, it didn't punish me for being wrong, though. Oh no! That did. I wish I could place why that purple guy down there seems so familiar to me. I really feel like I've seen that guy in another game. Oh. No, no! Oh. Brutal. Too brutal. quick escape. I was distracted by the ghost. I mean, if I have to take a fall, that's a pretty good place to land. No, undershooting that is so much worse than overshooting it. If I overshoot, I have a chance of... Cool. If I overshoot that jump, I have a chance of catching myself. If I undershoot it, there's... The undershoot is designed to be maximum punishing. overshoot, you might recover. That knowledge doesn't really help me all that much, though. I hope everything is okay upstairs. There was a sound like furniture falling over. I don't hear Jelly screaming for help. No! Oh, that's so heartbreaking / irritating. You know, this purple guy down here reminds me of Columbo. Always talking about his wife, but yet no one ever seems to see her. Talos says, welcome in. Hope you are well. No, I haven't made it above that level yet. The area where the fly lives. That fly is gone. That fly disappeared. He left me a note telling me I lost. I didn't even know we were competing. But no, that's Bugstalk. Bugstalk is the highest region I've seen. I think I've been one screen away from. I think I've made it to the last screen of that area. I can't say for sure, but the highest screen I've reached, the highest one I reached seemed to have sort of a transitional feel about it. So I think if I can get one screen higher than my PB, I'll be in a new area. For a whole 4 seconds before I fall back down to the bog. Welcome in. Happy Tuesday, my friend. Hope all is well in your part of the world. Oh. Fiddlesticks. Found a free streaming site that has old classic Doctor Who. Right on. Doctor Who is one of those things that I've never made an effort to get into. I recognize, like, the blue telephone booth and the famous robot from Doctor Who, but I don't know, I've never really looked into the series. All I've been watching lately is Columbo. That's all the TV I've been watching. Jelly and I watch one episode of Columbo almost every night. just gonna overshoot that. No. Back to the bog. There's never any doubt about when I'm heading down here. I always know right away. I always know right away when an error is leading to the bog. Cool. We get to see the whole bog. I don't know if anyone's ever told that guy down there, but he's awfully negative. No. I'm surprised they didn't give that guy more dialogue because we see him a ton. Yeah, I have no clue, Derek. was on for 26 seasons. It's too much. I could never find the time to watch all that. How did Jet Force go? It's going pretty badly. I don't, sadly, I don't really have any, I don't really have much to report. I found a bunch of stuff, but none of it leads anywhere. So I'm still spinning my wheels. Basically my situation with Jet Force Gemini just gets continually worse because I keep finding more pointless side quests I have to do that don't actually progress me toward the main objective of the game, which I still can't figure out what I'm supposed to do next to make any progress toward that. So it just gets worse and worse. I don't find anything useful, and the stuff I do find is horrible. It's revealed its true colors, and it turns out it is a stunningly terrible game. It looks fine. It looks fine from the outset, but if you play it for a while, you realize it's actually very terrible. I can fully understand the reason why almost everybody, almost nobody that I've talked to has actually finished the game. Yeah, I saw I had to download an update for the Switch, but I didn't know what it was for. I mean, I wouldn't see the N64 games anyway, because I don't subscribe to the expansion. Hey Greg, welcome in. Hope your evening is treating you well. Yeah, Fall King. Welcome to Fall King. Fall King. There is a dark and murky bog at the bottom. Still playing Metroid Dread, liking it more than I ever thought I would, after how bad my first playthrough went. I hope it continues to satisfy. Oh, too much. I missed that jump several times in a row. Hey, Uncle Muscles, welcome in. Great to have you with us. Just watching last week's VOD, right on. Yeah, I got your message, and yeah, this DLC is very impressive. I liked that forest area right at the start. I thought that was a good. So I think the forest area. Cows, welcome in. Great to have you here as well. Hope you're having a pleasant evening, cows. Oh, but yeah, the forest area at the beginning. So I think, sort of the idea is, I imagine there was a significant gap of time between the original release and the release of the second DLC. I mean, I don't know how long that might have been, a couple months, a couple years, but I didn't look it up. But I imagine that forest area is like designed, to get you re-familiar with the game after having not played for a while, before it sinks you here into the bog. And yeah, I think so far everything I've seen from it, they feel like I feel like they've done a really good job with this DLC. The oppressively negative guy at the bottom of the bog, the crazy purple guy at the bottom of the other area. Unfortunately, I think they did too good of a job with making it punishing and difficult. Because I'm not getting anywhere. Cringing every second of that fall from a moment ago. Hey May, welcome in. Thank you again for the lurk. Hope work goes smoothly for you. Have fun. We're trying our best. We're trying our best. Fun is a synonym for misery, right? There might be a few misprints in my thesaurus. This game's just a bit too punishing for my liking, Greg says. Fun to watch, as long as I don't have to play it. First time we've made that jump tonight. No, I overshot. Can I walk off this? No, I can't. I missed that jump a whole lot tonight. I missed it a whole lot. Jack and the Beanstalk would be a cool DLC for this. What's funny is that when I read that out of the corner of my eye, I thought you wrote Jank and the Beanstalk. That works too. Trying to get up the water spout like the itsy bitsy spider. That's what I feel like. That's what I feel like. Oh, that's a great comparison. So I used to speedrun Castlevania: The Adventure, and when I was running that game, I was never really great at it, but you know, I had fun learning how to do a speedrun for once. I had a coach who is the world record holder for the game, and he would be in the chat frequently when I would make my attempts, and he'd give me advice, and more often than not, criticism for not following his advice. But one of the features of that game, there are no stairs or ladders or anything in a Castlevania: The Adventure. Instead, but there is climbing. You climb ropes, and you climb them in various areas. There's a lot of rope climbing in that game. There's a lot of verticality, actually, in Castlevania: The Adventure. I wonder if that's part of why I like that game a lot. I think I feel like I like games with a lot of verticality. As much as I like games where you have to walk to the right, I also like games with a lot of verticality. But anyway, so one of the things about this speedrun, though, is like the ropes are usually much longer. Like climbing the full length of the rope is a huge waste of time. You need to learn, when you're climbing a rope, you need to learn like what the minimal amount of rope you need to travel is to save yourself a whole bunch of wasted time. So you gotta jump off the ropes real early, and I'm real bad about it because there's a lot of areas where if you jump off the rope too early, you won't land on the platform or catch the next rope. You'll fall to your death, and so it's really scary to jump near the bottom of the rope because you take a huge risk. And so I was real bad at learning to jump off of the ropes quickly, and my coach, Mazin, he goes by Mazin. I just remember one night when I was running the game, I looked down at the chat and Mazin wrote, "Frownie, what are you doing? This isn't Jack and the Beanstalk." And whenever I think about that, it just kind of makes me smile. I had Belmont's Revenge. It was similar with the ropes. Yeah, yeah, there are ropes in that one too. I don't know Belmont's Revenge very well. I've only played through it one time. I I really should give it a bit more focus because as I recall, that game has like kind of like branching paths. So you don't necessarily see everything on a single playthrough. So I should probably revisit it. And the third, the Castlevania Legends on the Game Boy, I've never even played. I've heard mixed things about that one. About its quality, so I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward to it, but well, you know what? Everyone hates Castlevania: The Adventure, and I like that game, so maybe I have nothing to worry about. Oh yeah, yeah. You have to master the ropes for a chance at a speed run. Cal says, "I was gonna say you tend to enjoy things people hate." I'm such a, I'm such a contrarian, aren't I? Agent Frownie is nothing if not a, if not a contrarian. This game included. Oh. It's fair. I have the Anniversary Collection on the Xbox 360. It has all the Game Boy and NES versions, plus Kid Dracula. Yeah, Kid Dracula I need to finish too. We played that game on the stream one night, and I made it pretty far. I might have even been at like the next to last or last level, but I just ran out of time or energy that night, and I just never bothered to go back to it. I was playing the Famicom version, so it was in Japanese. And there's a part where you have to answer a whole bunch of trivia questions, so I had to brute force. I had to brute force the trivia section. It took a while. I never went back to it because I don't keep my Famicom hooked up, or I didn't used to keep my Famicom hooked up regularly. Now I actually have a flash card for it, so it's the Model 2 Famicom, so it's like the top loader NES. It's the Famicom AV. But now, since I have the flash cart for it, I have sort of decommissioned my toaster style NES, and now the Famicom sits hooked up all the time. Which means a lot of my NES carts don't see a lot of action anymore. They're kind of collecting dust for no reason, which I don't necessarily like, but sometimes you got to do what's convenient, right? We'll both you stopped the Game Boy Kid Dracula 90% of the way through. We'll both finish them eventually. Yeah, definitely. I don't like to leave things unfinished. You know, a lot of times games that we've left unfinished, a lot of times it has more to do with just me forgetting about them than it does me like wanting to quit playing them. There are a few games that I just quit playing. I wanted to quit and we did quit. It doesn't happen very often, but there are a few. But most of them, like, and a lot of them seem to be Game Boy games. Earthworm Jim and Double Dragon on the Game Boy. I just never remember to play those. There's Kid Dracula. There's Batman on the NES. And another one I need to do is the Cryon Conquest on the NES. We played that one night. And I never picked it up again. That game is so crazy hard. Yeah, maybe I should start a What Was I Playing Again Wednesday series. I keep thinking about making a I talk about it all the time and never progress on it. But I keep thinking about making a queue of viewer requested games that we'll play once a week. And I was thinking we would do it on Wednesday, and I would call it "Why Did You Do This to Me Wednesday?" Now that I have the, now that I have the flashcards, that opens up a lot more library options for me. Though I would kind of want to prioritize stuff I own still. I don't know. I like the idea. I like the idea of keeping a queue of viewer requested games, but I'm gonna be so slow to get through them. Like, someone will request a game and then they'll have to wait like 7 years for me to get to it. If I'm only doing them once a week. Because I won't want to do anything else until I finish the one I'm working on. And yeah, like, that's a real slow... Once a week is a real slow thing, especially if it's a long game. Yeah, I got the shoes from the purple guy. If they do anything, I haven't been able to figure out what that might be yet. They could just be cosmetic for all I can tell, but... Yeah, I have them, I just... They're these, yellow shoes. I think there are items that are purely cosmetic in the game. Cute rubber duckies. Welcome back, Zergling. Work distracted me as soon as the stream started. They go well with the green. I feel, you know what? I feel very much like a gnome with my with my bright clashing colors and my... I guess they don't clash that much. My tall, pointy hat. It looks like we jump higher. Do we? I don't know about that. I think that might just be an illusion. Whoa. You could have been right. Any new PBs tonight? No, Zergling. No new PBs. I haven't even really gotten all that close. I've made it about halfway through Bugstalk, but I haven't, the closest I've gotten is 2 screens away yet from a PB. You know what? You know what? These other shoes? Where are these? These shoes? I thought you had to wear these shoes for the ice, but you know what? I think I'm wrong. I think these shoes don't actually help you on the ice. I thought I had to wear those to keep from to reduce my sliding on the ice, and I think I've been wrong. I think I've been wrong about those for about 80 hours now. Because I'm not wearing them, and I'm doing just fine on this ice. So that's interesting. That's a long time to be wrong about something. See, from this situation, I really don't know what the best thing to do is. Well, we did something. I don't know where the best area to fall is. This DLC is no joke. It is masterfully crafted. I mean, the whole game is really, you know, well put together to be torture. They're certainly doing a good job. Certainly doing a good job. Seems about right for a Frownie playthrough. How many hours are you wrong about Chompy McBaitface? Oh. So probably... How long was the Dark Souls playthrough? 200 hours? Oh, probably about 100 hours. No, maybe more like 70 or 80. The best part, the best part about Chompy McBiteface is like the whole time he was on my head, he was cutting the number of souls I received in half. And like, but my favorite thing about that is not only did I never notice that, but when I finally did get him removed from my head, I still didn't piece it together. Because by that time, I had found an item that increased the number of souls I received. And so I was finally able to put that on when I removed Chompy. And so my assumption was not that Chompy had been robbing me, the whole time, my assumption was just that the item that increases your souls did a much, like, I assumed it did a much better job than it actually did. Like, not only did I fail to realize he was a villain, but I failed under various circumstances in which it should have become obvious. The dev must love geometry and angles to set this up so precisely. I knew I was doing a bad job there. My goodness. Bog of despair. So there's a part in Portal 1 where you get into one of the test chambers and Gladys is like extra talkative in this particular chamber, and she's telling you over and over again in various ways that the current test chamber is actually broken and thus impossible to solve, and so you might as well not even bother trying to solve it, because it's so clearly, obviously so terribly broken that it would be pointless to waste your time trying. And it's all a lie, of course. It's actually, quite solvable. And then when you do solve it, Gladys congratulates you on persevering in an environment of extreme negativity. And that I think about that chamber a lot of times, because I think that, like, I relate to the scenario of that chamber a lot, because I think I'm very good at persevering in an environment of extreme negativity, even though I am the one who is providing the extremely negative environment. I am both the source of the discouragement and the one who perseveres against it. Hey, Claire, welcome in. Thank you very much for the resub, Claire. What is that, 8 months? Thank you very much for your kind and generous support. I hope things have been going well for you. I know my character looks kind of like a gnome, but don't worry, I didn't restart Time Tunnel. Nice hat. Precisely. Time Tunnel 2. This time it's worse. In a dream world where my bank account has like 4 or 5 more zeros behind it, how much I would love to purchase the rights to the Time Tunnel franchise and fund the development of Time Tunnel 2. This time it's worse. That's the most extraordinary title. Hey, EpiPen, welcome in. Hope you're doing well tonight. I might even like that better than the proposed sequel to this game, Jump King 2. There are 2 smoking hot babes at the top. Time Tunnel 2. This time it's worse. Brought to you by the deranged geniuses at Agent Frownie Suffers Studios. 10,000 monkeys in lab coats and a team of crack scientists came together to make Time Tunnel worse, and it was just Jump King. Not sure you'd have to pay quite that much for the rights to Time Tunnel. Well, you know, there's also like the team of developers I would want to hire, and because well, here's the thing, you know, I wouldn't want to make the game myself. First of all, I can't make a game, and second of all, I'd want to play the game. If I made the game, I couldn't very well enjoy it on the same type of level, right? I think you're delirious, Frownie. It shouldn't be that funny. I might be a little bit. Chump King. My jumping abilities are weak. I don't think there's any enjoying Time Tunnel 2. Why not? I love Time Tunnel 1. Time Tunnel 1 was a delectably terrible game. It's brilliant. But this time it's worse. Jelly and I were this probably won't translate. This probably won't translate well. But Jelly and I were cracking ourselves up earlier because we had been listening to an audiobook in the car, and as we got home, the sentence was something like, "The dragon's eyes had long vertical pupils like the eyes of a..." And I turned the car off, so the last word got cut off, and Jelly finished it with dragon. And then we kept cracking ourselves up, making example sentences from a story where we describe everything by comparing it to itself. So we kept saying things like his trench coat was the exact same shade of brown as a trench coat. And the smoke from his cigar smelled exactly like the smoke from a cigar. And we just couldn't stop laughing for the longest time. I'm still laughing about it. Oh. Time Tunnel 2. This time the items can time travel too. Oh, wouldn't that be something else? It's actually not a bad idea for a Time Tunnel sequel. Every time you leave the screen, the items have a probability of having time traveled to a different location than where you left them. Like that's an interesting hurdle to have to deal with. It's a good way to make your playthrough an extra 40 hours longer. You should get Jelly to write for Time Tunnel 2. The Time Tunnel was a game nearly as bad as Time Tunnel. We have very different definitions of not a bad idea, Claire says. Oh, limited teleports. Like, that would make things hard. I wouldn't want to, I don't want to envision a scenario where I play Time Tunnel and get soft locked, though. I had to restart the game often enough just from it crashing. I don't need to compound it with soft locks. This time they misunderstand words in multiple languages. Yeah, I don't remember what the word is now, but yeah, one of the puzzles revolved around the word for snake in a different language, but the developers got the word wrong. Daimyo, yeah. That was it. The developers thought daimyo meant snake. Interesting hurdle is not what I would call that. I would call that infuriating, Cows says. I shouldn't be laughing so hard and having such a good time because the more fun I have, the faster time moves and the sooner I have to play Jet Force Gemini. I shouldn't be having fun and having a good time, says the man playing Jump King. I love this game. I'm all turned around on Jump King. I had some bad times. I had some bad times where I really hated Jump King, but I love this game now. This is in my top 10 list. Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Castlevania 64, Jump King, Time Tunnel. I love all the best games. You're creating your own time tunnel, Cal says. I am. I'm warping. I'm warping ahead to the bad ending. So far what I've discovered so far is the only items that I've discovered that have an effect are the snake ring. The snake ring lets you move through deep terrain like snowdrifts or the sand and the bog. Normally you can't walk in those environments. You can only jump through them, but you can't walk to reposition yourself. With the snake ring on, you can. You can walk through those just like regular environments, but the snake ring also turns every surface into ice physics. So it gives you an ability with a drawback. The giant boots, I don't know what they do. They make you so heavy you can't walk, regardless of what environment you're in. I haven't discovered their benefit yet. Everything else is worthless. For a long time, I actually just figured this out earlier tonight. I thought the regular shoes decreased your slipperiness on ice. It doesn't make it go completely away, but I thought it decreased it. But I found out tonight I was wrong. They don't actually do that. So if they do anything, I don't know what it is. So of all the items in my inventory, they all appear to be cosmetic except two. But only one of the two has an effect that I've found a use for. Yeah, I don't think you can even walk on ice with the giant boots. Yeah, yeah, even on ice, you can't walk with the giant boots. So, I learned that if you play this game on a platform that has, like, achievements, there is an achievement for playing the entire game with the giant boots on. So they might be an item that exists just for that achievement. Like, they might exist just so you can challenge yourself for that. They may not even have a practical purpose. There could be other things like that. I don't know, because there's not achievements on the Switch, so I can't do those things. Maybe someday, though. Maybe someday I'll get a PlayStation 4, and then we can restart Jump King and go achievement hunting. If I already didn't feel like I was going to be playing this for the rest of my life. Like, there are ways that I can drag this out much worse. Is the bad ending the one where you don't find the smoking hot babe? So shockingly, in the main game and DLC 1, there actually is a babe at the top. I thought for sure the babe was a lie. I 100% believed I was going to get to the top of the game and be scammed. And so I was actually really worried. I was actually really worried for a lot of my playthrough that someone was going to come into my chat and tell me what the joke at the end of the game was. And spoil for me that there wasn't a babe at the top, but instead this other thing. I could not believe when we made it up there, and it was actually true. Name your kid after this game. Jimmy Jump King Frownington. How did you guess my legal name, EpiPen? You figure that they would want people to enjoy playing their game. I ask that question a lot. With a lot of the games that I play, I ask that question of, like, how did the developers ever expect anyone to enjoy this? Frownie is the only person on Earth who would buy a PS4 for Jump King. That is actually kind of the only reason I want one. Because I never even thought about, like, achievements for this game, because I don't go achievement hunting. But learning that they exist if I played it on a different platform, that does actually kind of make me want to do it. The sad part is I'm not good enough to pull it off. I'd never make it. I'd never make it through all of them for sure. Hey, Sark. Welcome in. You don't want to do those achievements, Frownie. You're on the one hand, you're probably right. It's not necessarily that I want to do them. It's that I want to have done them. I want to fast forward ahead to the version to be the version of Frownie who has those accomplishments in his past. At least I think I do. I'm ignoring the minute detail of the catastrophic destruction that process would unleash upon me. Complete Ghost of the Babe with only 2 falls. Hey, that's not as bad as I thought it would be. I thought it'd be Ghost of the Babe with no falls. This is sounding more possible all the time. Shootswolf, welcome in. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in, raiders. Welcome to Jump King. This game is causing me great mental anguish, and I am retreating into fantasy worlds to cope with it. Tell us about your stream, though. I'd love to hear. Looks like you're playing Baldur's Gate 3. I'd love to hear how that treated you. How'd your stream go? Hopefully very well. Catch up on the chat, too, while everyone's settling in. The Frownie's kid named Leap Liege Frownie to avoid copyright issues. Dr. Frownsworth, I presume. This game actually seems like it was made by a real dev team. Dr. Evil was just shoved into a hamburger machine to make money off a movie. Yeah. The Dr. Evil game... Oh, the Dr. Evil game is so terrible. It really has no redeeming qualities. Beat me to it, Cal says. I wasn't thinking, I was on autopilot. Sorry to step on your toes, cows. If this was the movie Click and you fast forward till you finish this game, it would just be you and Isaac sitting next to each other, and the only way we'd be able to tell you apart is you would be the one holding the controller. Yeah. If Jump King's got you feeling too good, we can humble you real quick because Hades 2 is coming out soon, Claire says. Oh my goodness. Hades got rough. That's a hard game. I noticed when I put VODs, when I put the Hades VODs in the YouTube archive, like, I noticed in the, like, thing where you, like, select, like, where you, like, tag the video with, like, what game it features, I noticed that Hades 2 was an option. But I had no concept of where along the timeline to its release we were existing. We just got accepted in the Hades 2 beta on Steam. I hope it's proving to be satisfactory. So it's coming soon, probably. I wish I had it in me. I wish I had it in me to go back and finish Hades 1, but I just don't know how many times I can do that loop. It was so hard to escape once, and then I couldn't do it. I kept trying, and I couldn't do it again. If you'd given us $1 million and asked which game you'd finish between Time Tunnel and Hades, we would have lost $1 million. Always bet on the worst game. Always bet on the worst game with me. Oh, we have another raid coming in. Very nice. Zero, welcome in. Thank you for the raid. Hope you've had a wonderful stream. It says Donkey Kong Country 3 tonight. Hope that is progressing well for you. This is my PB, by the way, in Jump King here. This is the highest I've ever stood. I've made it up here twice. This is the third time. This is the third time I've stood on this platform. And the thing is, the ledges that we have to land on over there, the gap is so small. Actually, I wonder if I can just jump over all of that. Probably not, right? I don't think I can jump all the way up there onto that snowy platform. I should probably not try that. Well, there we go. That's exactly how the previous 2 attempts went. I don't know how to make that leap. You have to be so precise. I don't have the feel for it. It's so... The platform you have to jump to is so shallow, you're guaranteed to overshoot it, bonk your face on the wall, and bounce back off of it into disaster. I don't have a mechanism for dealing with this kind of situation. I'd say that was rough, but this whole game is rough. This is, for those who may be unfamiliar, this is actually the second DLC for Jump King. This is Jump King Ghost of the Babe. It's like the second or third quest through the game. It's hard to say because the first DLC is like an addition to the original game's map. So it's like a second quest, but some of it overlaps. I guess it's a second quest. Actually, you know what? It's more of a second quest than I thought, because an item I thought was mandatory, it actually turned out to be optional. So, yeah, this is the third quest through the game. We've done the main game and we've done DLC 1. Somehow I made it through both of those. And this is supposed to be the worst of the worst, and from what I've heard, and it's certainly shaping up to be that. Oh, please. No. Okay, not that bad. There was a point in time where moving between underwater and not underwater segments was devastating to me, because the timing for your jumps is wildly different between the two environments. When you're underwater, everything slows down. And so yeah, just feeling out like the time to jump intensity ratio, it is wildly difficult the first time you ever encounter a water area. It was so much so that when I first when I first encountered the water, whenever I would move from one environment to the other, I would quit the game for the night because it it was so it was it was so unlikely that I was going to be able to adjust to the difference in timing that I would just say, you know what, we'll just stop here. I'll walk away from it for 24 hours to like let my brain reset, and then we'll play it again tomorrow. Because if I kept playing with my sense of the timing skewed, I was gonna miss. I just knew I'd miss more jumps than I would make, and it'd eat all my progress away. But now, like so much further down the line, I've had to move between the two environments enough times now that it's really it no longer has any effect on me, and that it's even possible that I've developed this extra sense for adjusting to the two timings back to back. It is astounding to me. It is astounding to me. In the movie Aladdin 2: The Return of Jafar, there's a running thing throughout that movie where the observation that genies can't kill is met with the reply, the very ominous and sinister reply that you'd be amazed what you can live through. I feel like playing games on this stream makes me feel like that sometimes. There are depths of frustration in video games that just I would never have imagined to have been possible. And that I can play some of these without just erupting into a ball of flame. I am just amazed that I don't implode under the crushing weight of frustration that some of these games deal to me. No! Ah. I have a pain in my torso. This game is giving me stomach ulcers. My stomach, my midsection is uncomfortable from the way I've been sitting. But I'm gonna blame the game. The game is giving me appendicitis. This game caused me to regrow my wisdom teeth, so I'd have to have them removed a second time. You don't really need your appendix. Is the term vestigial organ? Is that the right term for like a leftover body part that you don't actually need? Oh. No. No, I haven't played Getting Over It. If I finish this, I think I will. Cause yeah, people bring that one up a lot when I play this. I get asked about that one. I don't really know much about it. I did recently see it looks very janky. I did recently see like about 15 seconds of footage from Getting Over It. You look like you're half man, half kettlebell, and you've got a pickaxe. It looks very janky from the little bit I saw. I think I would probably feel very similar to it as I do toward Jump King. I think I could enjoy it. If I can endure the misery for long enough. If I finish this game, good way to avoid playing Getting Over It. I mean, I don't want to. I was just talking earlier tonight about how I like games I seem to like games with a degree of verticality to them, but you know, I don't want to have too much of a good thing all at once, right? In the description it says, I made this game for a certain type of person, to hurt them. Wow. A game about climbing and the game of Sisyphus in the same genre that recently came out. Yeah, the game about climbing. So that something about that game popped up in my YouTube recommendations. That's where I saw the footage from Getting Over It. I think is they mentioned something about, because I started to watch that video on a game about climbing, and it started with a reference to Getting Over It. And then I had to stop watching the video because I was like, oh, I might actually want to play this. So I didn't get very far. And it was the game about climbing. I was like, oh, I might want to play that. Thing is, I've got all of those queued up. Behind this one, so I won't be getting to any of those. Like, they'll be long dead and forgotten games by the time I get to them. A game about climbing. It was made by the same guy who made Getting Over It. Okay. I didn't actually catch that detail, but that would make sense. Don't worry, we'll be here in 2043 when the long-anticipated Agent Frownie Getting Over It playthrough happens. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I've got to wait. I've got to wait for them to become retro before I play them. That's what it is. Have Isaac start on the other one, and maybe we'll finish them at the same time. There's a climbing game on the Wii that I want to play as well. There's a WiiWare game. I think it's called Rock and Roll Climber. I want to check that one out too. It looks janky and frustrating. That's one I've had in my back pocket for a really long time now. Just waiting for an opportunity to get to it. We're not going to go with this one for too much longer. Probably about... we can give it about 20 more minutes. We'll switch over to Jet Force Gemini at the top of the hour. That sounds like a good idea. I did check, and I was right. I do own a strategy guide for Jet Force Gemini. I still don't want to use it. I still don't really want to use it, but I do have it. So I'm not opening it yet, but I did get it off the shelf. So I'm getting closer to giving up. I'm getting closer to giving up on that game and looking at the strategy guide. I really don't want to, though. I really want to find my way without it, but I did find new stuff. I did find new stuff in the game last night, so like that sort of made me, that somewhat rekindled my hope. It didn't really restart the fire of hope in me. It just kind of blew on the coals a little bit, so they're glowing somewhat. I'm doing this wrong. Oddly enough, the music in this area gives me OSRS vibes, Sark says. I don't think I know what that means. I don't recognize the acronym. Old school RuneScape. Okay, yeah, that would have gone right by me. I didn't really play RuneScape. I did start an account one time. I played for maybe an hour and a half. I didn't really know what I was doing. So I've had no meaningful experience with it. One of my friends got really into it for a while. The music in this area makes me think of the Song of Storms, because it's got the same rhythm. That sort of waltz rhythm. Like a soundtrack to a pirate movie. Oops. No, don't overleap. Be really nice to be able to stand somewhere new. It'd be really nice to stand somewhere new before we wrap things up. No. Oh, that really hurts. Particularly for the way that I slid off of that brick. Not just that I fell, but the way that I almost made it onto it. I can't believe that didn't end in disaster. No, what? Why? New PB unlocked. This is now officially the highest we've ever stood. Oh my goodness. Oh no. No, there's a checkpoint up there. Which means there's no way I'm gonna make it. No! I shouldn't have peeked. I shouldn't have peeked. Looking up there and seeing there's a checkpoint jinxed me. Oops. Thank you for the palms, cows. That was a fairly definitive new PB, I'd say. We saw a new screen. So this stream has now been a victory. I audibly, involuntarily cried out no just now. I very much appreciate the empathy. It's good. It's good. It's you know, it's good. I don't feel bad. Yeah, it would have been nice to make it up there, yes, but just seeing a new area is a victory. Just a glimpse, and the night is not wasted. There will be many more nights to actually stand up there. Cows screamed out too, but it wasn't family friendly language. Let's go. Now, I called this a checkpoint, but I do recognize that the left-hand side is completely open. So, we are definitely not... House of 9 lives? This looks like my house. It's full of cats. Mew, I love it here. I think we just beat the game, my friends. We found the best place. Meep. Mew. I love cats. I don't think it's a good idea to leave a whole bunch of cats unsupervised with a lot of burning candles. I think that's maybe an error. I wouldn't advise replicating what you see here, my friends. This is great. House of 9 lives. Let's go. Have fun living here. I was shopping for cat stuff just now, EpiPen says. Oh. I'm not sure if the have fun living here comment is like a suit yourself comment because I like hanging out with cats, or if it's because this is a place where I'm gonna be stuck for a very long time. I'll leave that up to your interpretation. I mean, they're not necessarily exclusive. Oh. I feel like there's got to be a secret up there on the left. Why would that ledge exist if not for the purpose of housing a secret? I'm jumping real bad. I'm still like, I'm jittery from the excitement of being somewhere new. Yeah, I need a pair of catnip boots. Oh. Frownie, will you get it together? What are you doing? These lantern platforms, their circular nature gives them odd properties. You kind of slip around them when you jump at them at the right angle to they're not the first, like, they're not unique, but they're more rounded than stuff you usually come across. There's not a secret there. No. In addition to 3 cats, we also have a border collie because we want our home to be as uninhabitable as possible. Our dog is very close. He's very close to 1 year old now. He's just, I think he's 10 months. 9 months. We've taught him a small set of like really like basic, just like useful dog commands. You know, like to go to his crate, or, you know, to sit and stay, to lie down. He's gotten pretty good at fetch. He doesn't really fetch. Like, it's not really command. It's not really the command that gets him to fetch. It's just that he just does it because he likes to play. The command is a little meaningless. But he will wait. Well, he will, on the one hand, he will wait to play with his tug toy until he gets the command. And he does drop it on command really well. And I think most recently he's finally gotten a hang of roll over. So we can get him to lie down and get him to roll over as a separate command. He was confusing those for a little while. He confuses sit and lie down, and I don't know how to correct that. Well, I don't know how to teach him. What I don't know how to teach him is once he lies down, I don't know how to teach him to rise into a sitting position. I think part of the problem with that is I've already created ambiguity because sit also implies stay. So if he's lying down and I tell him to sit, I think what he's thinking is that he's being ordered to stay in the lie down command, in the lie down position, not to rise into a sitting position. So I don't know how to communicate a distinction between those. So I think we're just kind of stuck. I think we're just kind of stuck on this one. Cat Plays, welcome back, Losses. Master Tuesday, welcome in, and happy Tuesday to you, my friend. 80 stream streak. You are very close. You are very close to 100. I got 2 people really close to 100 streams, and I'm really hoping that nothing goes wrong, so that it's Zergling and Tuesday, both very close to 100 streams. I'm really hoping that nothing goes wrong to mess that up. Some like crash or glitch in the system or something. I haven't seen this area before. This is new, Tuesday. I just made it up here. I just made it up here for the first time. It's fantastic. It's fantastic to see something new. Oh, that on the left over there looks super gross. I want to get closer to that cat so I can read what it has to say. It's probably just Mew like all the others. Yeah, the thing about cats and dogs, if your cat magically became big like a tiger, it would kill you for fun and then eat you when it got hungry. But if your dog got big like a dire wolf, it would be pretty much the same, only more expensive to feed. I mean, your cats aren't, you know, Cats aren't typically renowned for their loyalty and obedience. But you can happily exist in a sort of true state with them for the most part. Magical size alterations notwithstanding. Fortunately, I don't think I'm going to have to worry about that occurring. All those cats waiting for you to fall and die so they can eat you. None of this should be particularly difficult. I am disproportionately struggling with this location, I feel. All of this terrain seems so much easier than what we've just come through to get here. For reasons not clear to me, having a super hard time. That ceiling's pretty low. Inconveniently low. Nope. Nope. the kitties are using distraction. It's super effective. No. I disagree. Alright, my friends, this is a new and exciting location, and I actually want to explore it a lot more, but I'm going to exercise discipline. And I'm going to put this down, and we will switch gears so that I can treat myself to another serving of the broccoli that is Jet Force Gemini. Thank you for enjoying this game with me. We have made more progress than I ever thought possible. I can't wait until tomorrow night when we inevitably fall down that channel on the left-hand side and destroy all of this. But we're gonna have to wait until tomorrow night. We're gonna save and quit this one here. We're gonna quit while we're ahead. We almost never get to do that. We almost never get to quit while we're ahead, so we're gonna do that. What a game! What a fantastic game Jump King is. It never ceases to amaze me. I'm gonna take a short break. I'm gonna step away from the stream a moment, maybe visit the restroom and get some new coffee. And then, yeah, we'll put 2 hours into Jet Force Gemini. It'll be another sort of map wandering experience as I wear down my tolerance until I can't take it anymore and finally open the strategy guide. But I'm still trying not to do that. So thank you one more time. If you want to join me for that, just stand by. I'll be back with you very shortly.